If there was a way that you could walk into a room full of strangers and your presence alone just lights up the room and everyone is just yearning and pining to be your friend, you'd want to know more, right? For those who don't know me, or if you're new, hi, my name's Nicole Jean, and I'm your people skills coach and retired wallflower, and I help you go from feeling socially awkward to conversing with ease and getting more friends as an adult. I'm a retired wallflower and a full-blooded introvert. And I used to be incredibly overwhelmed in social interactions. I would go mentally blank in carrying a conversation or engaging in small talk with other people. And now, years later, I am a nurse practitioner practicing here in California, and I carry dozens of conversations with patients, new and old, people I've never seen, people I've seen every few months over and over time. And I've discovered the secret to feeling confident and capable to walk up to anybody and start a conversation out of thin air. And I'm here to help you speak up so you can get friends as a grown up. And in today, we're talking about the 3 ways to be a great friend and to build meaningful relationships in 2023. Or another way to take it is 3 ways to attract great friends in your life in 2023. Sounds good? All right, let's get started. So, tip number 1 is to invest in conversations. I always say this, a conversation is an investment in a relationship. Any conversation you have is an investment in that relationship. And it doesn't matter. Have you all heard of love languages? It doesn't matter what your love language is. I believe there's what, 5 love languages? There's words of affirmation, physical touch, gifts, acts of service, quality time. I think those are the 5. Correct me if I'm wrong. And it doesn't matter what your love language is. I'm going to give you an example, a real life example. So my husband, his love language is gifts, it's receiving gifts and acts of service. So I know if I do something nice for him, if I iron his shirt, if I buy him his favorite cake or dessert or pie at my next grocery store run, that means so much more to him than I saying I love you to his face. But despite that, you still need to have a conversation. A conversation is still an investment in a relationship. Why? Because conversations are where people feel heard. Conversations are where people feel validated, people feel heard, and everyone wants to feel heard. Everyone wants to feel that they're important, that their opinions matter, that their opinions are important. And that happens during a conversation. I'm going to give you an analogy of how conversations are an investment in a relationship. So let's take this analogy. As a kid, you put your spare money, your spare coin or money in a piggy bank. Maybe you did a bunch of chores for your parents and you got money if you earned money for chores, or maybe you got a lot of money at Christmas or holidays. I'm Chinese American, so I get money every Lunar New Year in those red envelopes, and I would hoard those every year as a kid. I remember that memory so much. And so that money accumulates and you get super, super excited to go spend more money on a toy or a big purchase that you've just been excited and just so impatient to buy. And you're over the moon excited about it. You invested your time in it. Or maybe as an adult, maybe you're saving and investing your money for a big purchase like retirement, your 401k, buying a house, going on a big international trip, whatever it is. A relationship is like a piggy bank. Every time you have a conversation, whether it be positive, whether it be an argument, whether it be a disagreement, whatever it is, it's like dropping a coin in that relationship piggy bank. So you are investing in a relationship. Think about your closest friend. Your closest friend, you two have the deepest and most profound conversations. You both invested so many conversations in your relationship. Now think about a family member that you're estranged with, that you're not that close with. How often do you have a conversation with them? How often do you talk to them? Maybe once a year during the holiday time. And that's because you haven't had very many conversations with that person. You have not invested many conversations with that person. And especially for people who feel socially awkward or shy, you need to be strategic in how you invest conversations in your relationships. It's not just good enough to have a conversation. You could have a conversation about how's the weather, how was your commute to work, how the really surface level kind of small talk, and if it makes and if being social, uh, if being social drains your energy or makes you feel awkward, then this is a really important strategy. A good conversationalist invests with high quality conversations, not quantity conversations. So, real life example here is that I'm a busy mom. I've got a toddler, I've got a 2.5 little boy, and I'm a nurse practitioner by day. I'm not a teenager where, I see my friends every day at school or in high school or college in my late early 20s. I'm real busy. I got a busy schedule, so my time is precious. And so if I'm going to see someone like once a week, once a month, I need to make those interactions of quality. I need to make those interactions matter, so I'm building value in those relationships, in those friendships. And so quality deep conversations, they build value and connection with other people. Now, for those of you who are thinking, okay, Nicole, but I don't know how to carry a conversation. I don't, you know, I don't know how to captivate someone, how to strike up an engaging conversation or carry small talk. Worry not, I got you covered. It is your job to articulate yourself well in conversations. Just a cold truth. It is your job to articulate yourself well in conversations, or it is your job to learn how to articulate yourself well in conversations. And if you want to know how you can tell your story, tell your perspective, tell your opinion in a captivating way in a conversation, if you want to learn the science behind how to do this in conversations, if you want to normalize conversing with other people in social interactions, then I invite you to apply for my one on one coaching, my signature coaching service. If you enjoyed this mini training so far, then you will love working with me on a high touch, intimate level. My coaching service, it gives you an arsenal of things to say in a conversation and how to say it in a conversation. What that means for you is that you will be able to strike up engaging conversations with new people anytime, anywhere. But the real value is that you will be able to authentically connect with other people and find your quality social circle of friends that makes you feel like you belong. I was reading an article the other day by, I think it was from the Washington Post, and the study basically demonstrated that friendships, having strong friendships, strong relationships with other friends, is essential to a healthy and meaningful life. Just as important as eating well, drinking lots of water, getting good sleep, and exercising regularly. And getting more friends and building a meaningful life is what you want, right? So I invite you, if you want to see if coaching is a good fit for you, send me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram handle is at Nicole. It's Nicole Jean. Jean is Jeanne. The link is below in the show notes, or if you're listening to the podcast, it's in the notes below. And send me a DM on Instagram and let's chat and see if this is a good fit for you. All right. So we're going to get to number 2. Are you ready for number 2 of how to be a great friend or how to attract great friends and build meaningful relationships in 2023? All right. Number 2 is to invest your time. Invest your time. Making friends, building a meaningful connection and relationship with other people, it takes time. It may feel awkward in the beginning, but it will get more comfortable with time. Here's another analogy. If you had a penny, if you had a 1 cent penny and you doubled the value every day for a month, you doubled the value of a penny every day for 30 days, how much money do you think you'd have? Any guesses? You'd have over $5 million. Can you believe that? If you had a penny on day 1 and you doubled the value every day for 30 days, you'd have $5 million. That is the compounding effect of effort and time. Can you believe that? If you start with a dinky little penny, like literally like no friends or maybe just one acquaintance on day one, but you invest your time over and over and it compounds in a relationship over and over again, the time compounds, that time spent with that friend compounds over time and you have some quality time, quality connection built with that friend. Remember, socializing confidently or feeling confident socializing, it doesn't happen overnight. People who appear socially confident, they have been practicing for so long. They don't magically know all the techniques, all the mechanics, all the scripts of what to say or how to feel comfortable around other people. It's like you opening a book for the first time and skipping to chapter 27 instead of starting at chapter 1. You're seeing that person at chapter 27 instead of at chapter 1 when they started in the first place. I go on live stream every week here, and how do I show up every week? It's because I've been doing this every week for 2 years, for almost 2 years. This is my 50th or 60th in live stream. I don't even remember. I lost count by now. I was nervous as heck during my first live stream. But over time, I have felt less awkward and less like it's less nerve-wracking. I felt a little bit slightly more comfortable every time I'm doing it. When something is consistent, it is less intense. We have to stop the association that just because you feel socially awkward, it means you're not good at socializing. It's the exact opposite. It's your brain telling you that you need to spend more time practicing socializing. That's it. Your feelings are not a predictor or a forecast of the rest of your life. So do not take a single feeling or a singular experience in your life and make a long term prediction about the rest of your life. Do not extrapolate. Do not try to predict the rest of your life. Some people say, to push past your feelings. I'm not really a big fan of that because it implies that your feelings are wrong, invalid. The truth is, your feelings have a purpose. Your feelings is a your feelings are a reflection of your current reality. So if you feel inadequate in socializing it or at something right now, it just means you need to take the time to get adequate at it. It's a process over time, and you have to learn the skills, and it will take time, which leads me to my third point. And my third point for how to be a great friend in 2023, how to build meaningful relationships in 2023, and how to attract great friends in 2023 is to number 3, invest in people skills. There's a famous saying by what's the famous civil rights advocate, Maya Angelou. She said, "People will forget what you said and what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." That is how you are memorable. You're memorable by you become memorable, so memorable that people remember to invite you to a party. People remember to invite you to a gathering, to an outing. That is what gets you memorable and makes people think of you when they think of who are their friends. I'm going to give you another example. Queen Elizabeth II. She passed away in September of last year, 2022. And I remember watching the news, and over 750,000 people, over 750,000 people, lined up the streets of London for over 24 hours, even through the night, with a queue, a line stretching to 4 miles, just for a moment to step in that church, look upon her casket, and say their goodbyes. And in every single interview, every person that came out of the church afterwards, every interview, they said the same thing. They said the one same thing. They said it was completely worth it because life is about connection. Life is about relationships. Can you imagine having that much impact on someone, being so memorable that they remember you even after you've passed away? For me, as a quiet and shy person, I often grew up feeling very overlooked. Because I'm naturally quiet, people assume I didn't want to go to social gatherings or events. So they didn't invite me much. And man, did it hurt. I wanted to feel included. I wanted to feel like I belonged. I wanted to be thought of. I wanted to be remembered. Even if I wasn't able to make the event, I still wanted to be invited and feel loved and feel appreciated, that my company is appreciated and valued. So, this is how you build meaningful relationships in 2023. You invest in people skills. You learn the science behind how to be memorable to others, how to make people feel good, how to make people enjoy their experience with interacting with you, right? People want to be around other people who make them feel good, who make them feel joy. This stuff isn't taught in formal education, which is a darn shame. We naturally learn people skills through our parents. We role model through our parents. And I 110% love and respect parents and all the sacrifice they made for their children. But sometimes we need more teachers than just our parents. My husband, his parents, my in-laws, they don't speak very fluent English. They're immigrants from Taiwan. And my husband had to learn his English from other people, from his teachers, his mentors, his classmates. It's the same scenario. We need actual formal education. We need to learn people skills from people who are expertise in people skills. Be excited to learn the science behind people skills. Learn how to captivate people. Learn how to make people feel good in your presence. Learn how to impact people so positively that you are memorable. And if you want to start learning how to improve your people skills, then I invite you to watch my prior live stream or the prior podcast episode. I think it's called The 4 Conversation Mistakes People Always Make and What You Should Do Instead. So it's amazing. It's a gem. It's full of gems. You don't want to miss it. In the meantime, I want to thank you all for watching or listening on the podcast. I hope this was helpful and it inspires you to be a better friend and to attract better friends in 2023. Thank you so much for being here and listen. I appreciate you. I appreciate the conversation. And as always, I am rooting for you. All right, we are done. Whew, I'm going to stop the podcast recording. How are we all doing, everyone? Whew. I always get really nervous when I'm on live stream. I don't know why my armpits are sweating. I'm gonna come over to the Instagram. Any questions? Let's see. Oh, hi, Dr. Alice. Hey, Jen. My cousin's on here. Hey, K-Dogs. Good to see you. Oh, thanks for coming in. I'm gonna wave at you on Instagram. All right. All right. Well, I don't see any questions on the YouTube or the Instagram. As always, I come on here weekly for live streams. I want to be available to you to answer your questions if you have any. So, definitely come on and ask some questions or just DM me on the Instagram. I'm always in my DMs and I'm happy to answer any questions you guys may have. All right. I'm going to let you all go. I always appreciate the conversation and the time we spend together. It means so much to me. And I can't wait to see you all next week.